Thank you for joining me here today, and what a beautiful day it is, and welcome. Dr. Marshall, I come in Christian love to you and all the viewers. I was called over 20 years ago to consecrate the Eucharist within the Catholic Church. And I had to become a theologian to try and understand why it was that God was calling me to consecrate the Eucharist, and the Catholic Church's teachings were prohibiting it. And today, Dr. Marshall, I would like to speak on some of the comments that you made about women not being able to become Catholic priests. Now, you say, Dr. Marshall, that Jesus did ordain his male disciples priests. Now, Dr. Marshall, there is nowhere in the Gospels at all where Jesus actually ordained any woman or man a priest. Now, Dr. Marshall, you place this patriarchal system that leans upon the Petrine principle in the Catholic Church. Now, viewers, if you are not sure what the Petrine principle is, I'm going to put it up here for you now. It says, the Petrine principle refers to Christ's bestowing of the keys of the kingdom on Peter, the first pope according to Roman tradition, and partly on Christ's words, and I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church. So that is basically what the patriarchal system stands on. However, Dr. Marshall, I'm going to reveal to you now what Mary, our beautiful Queen of Heaven, has revealed to me in relation to the Petrine principle. Dr. Marshall, you say in some of your other clips that you have experienced Jesus, that you have experienced the presence of Jesus. So what I am about to tell you is that I too, as a baptized Catholic woman, have experienced the presence of our beloved Virgin Mary. And Mary has been helping me on this call to ordination. Now, when I was looking at this particular Petrine principle, Mary came to me and she was standing behind me. I was looking at the laptop as I am now, researching. Mary was standing in a long light blue dress, and in her hand she held a thin scroll. And I remember saying to Mary, when I looked at it, I said to Mary, yes, Mary, the gospel words are written on the scroll. And suddenly the Virgin Mary placed the crucified face of Jesus within my mind. So I thought to myself, perhaps I should look at some of the crucifixion scenes in the Gospels. And so I did. And I found the one in John. And in John, the Gospel says, Mother, this is now your son. And to the disciple, this is your mother. Now, as I was reading that particular piece of scripture, Mary came to me again. And Mary said to me that she was going to tell me the words that Jesus had said to her at the foot of the cross. And this is what she said to me. Mother is now the church, and her children are to look over her, honor and respect her. In effect, Jesus was leaving his mother the authority that he once held on earth. Now, Dr. Marshall, bear with me, because these revelations, these words, go much further. Mary revealed to me that the interpretations that were often given of this particular scene, where Jesus is simply saying to John to take care of his mother, was of a purely human nature. And as Mary said, not include her exalted status in the divinity, in the divine plan with Jesus for the salvation of all humankind. Mary was not happy with this interpretation. After she had said these things to me, I decided to go back and have a look then on what premise the Petrine principle was based, the piece of scripture. And so I did. I went back and had a look, because Mary revealed things to me about this. So I have this up on the screen again so we can have a good look. The piece of scripture is, and I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church. Can I just break this down a bit for you? It says, and I tell you, you are Peter. Now, Peter is Greek for Petros. Petros means a small stone. And on this rock, the Greek word for rock is Petra. Petra means a huge, very strong foundation of rock. I will build my church. Petros is a masculine name for Peter. Petra is a feminine noun for rock. The church is saying that it is basing its patriarchal structure on the fact that they believe Peter is the rock that the church would be built on. But Peter cannot be the rock, because rock is a feminine noun. That feminine noun is for Mary, the Virgin Mother of God, Jesus' mother, Queen of Heaven. Mary revealed to me that Jesus was prophesying to Peter that yes, Peter could have the keys of the kingdom, he was a stone, and he would interpret scripture and preach the good news. But the church, the rock that the church would be built upon, would be his mother, the Queen Mary, our Queen Mary. When Jesus spoke to Mary at the cross, he said to his mother, "Mother, you are now the church, and all your children should look over you, honor and respect you." Our beloved Mary is not just the mother of the church, she is the church. She is the one that Jesus is giving all authority to. And Jesus is telling Peter this. You see, viewers, Peter would have understood this, and many of the first century Jewish people, because in the Old Testament, in Kings, we see that the wife of the kings were not the queens. The queen was the king's mother. She was called Queen Mother. She was second in authority. And of course, Mary went on to lead his mother, our Queen, and has always been a very strong part of our tradition. Now, after I had looked at all of this, Mary came to me again, and she repeated the words back to me that I had said to her. The words, "Yes, Mary, the words of the gospel are on the scroll." And she said, "Yes, but it is the interpretation of such scrolls. It is the interpretation of the gospel where her role, her title, her part in the salvation of all humankind with Jesus as part of God's plan for her must always be interpreted in that way." So, Dr. Marshall, doesn't sound like a patriarchal system to me. And Mary said to me, "Dr. Marshall," she said, "tell them to pray. Tell them," she said, "to keep praying." Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.